So in this video, I wanted to go over a couple of updates to the tool and a new feature. So in the Bake tab, I've reorganized this a little bit. So we have a Build tab and an Edit tab now. The Build tab is the main function for converting a Metahuman rig to a fully blend shape rig. And there's a little bit of a description here of how that works and a couple more options. And then the Edit tab, we have a few utilities that you can run once that baked rig has been built. And the new feature is this one at the bottom called Extract Correctives. And what this is for is, say with our jaw joint, right now, as you can see, all it controls is the inner mouth, and we also have joints for the eyes. Say we actually wanted to skin the face using that jaw joint, and then we want our blend shape to act as a corrective. You may want to do that if you want better interpolation for the jaw, and it will also mean that some of those core shapes will just work in that jaw space when the jaw is open, so you may need less combos, for example. And the way we're going to do this is, in our scene, we have a duplicate mesh, and all this is just the jaw joint skinned to the jaw with some very basic skin weights. The main thing being that they're quite smooth, they don't cause any pinching, so that this will work well with our correctives. So we need to make sure our rig is all zeroed out. And then in the tool, I'm going to add our skinned mesh to this field at the bottom. These other two meshes tell us which mesh we want to extract from and apply the result to, and the corresponding blend shape node. And then the cleanup option will just delete all those targets once they're done. Before we run this, we need to tell it what DNA file to use and what bake config to use. So these were the files that we used to bake this rig initially. So with that set up, I'm going to hit Extract Correctives. It'll give you a little confirmation dialog and hit OK. And you'll get a little printout in the script editor telling you what it's doing and a progress bar at the bottom. It's going to do 3 passes. First is extracting the shapes. Second pass is extracting that into correctives using those skin weights. And the last stage is doing some maths to calculate the combos. Okay, so once that's complete, you'll get a little dialog saying that it's done. And if we hide our skinned mesh and give it a test, what you should see should look identical to how it did before. But if you look under the hood, we now have a skin cluster on here. And if I turn this off, you'll see that's the effect of the corrective. And if I turn off the blend shape, that is our extracted shape. So we are now able to work in that skin cluster space, and everything should still work as expected. Now, in a more complex example, we could use the full skinning from our DNA file and extract correctives back to this. That would allow us to put those blend shapes back into the DNA file again. So I'll show you an example that this workflow will work. So in this case, I've just done a very silly basic sculpt here for the jaw. So this is still pure blend shapes. So let's say hypothetically this had been through like a big round of blend shape work with a blend shape artist, and you were happy and you wanted to bake this back to your DNA file. Same setup as before. I'm going to put in our skinned mesh down here, and the other names should be the same. And I'm just going to hit Extract Correctives. And this should do exactly the same process. It's going to pose all the joints that it finds and extract correctives that should work with that full DNA rig. So just a quick note on while this is processing, this will take a lot longer for obvious reasons, but also because the process is optimized by only using shapes and poses that affect the skin joints. So if your jaw is the only joint that's skinned, then it's only going to find like the jaw poses and extract those. In this case, when you have the full set of joints skinned to the mesh, it's going to use basically all the poses in there. So it's going to take a little while longer to run. Okay, so that has finished. And what I'm going to do first is just disconnect everything, because we already had some stuff connected. And what I'm going to do is reconnect, but I'm going to untick bake joints only, because that way it will connect every joint in the face, not just the ones that are in the bake config. I wouldn't recommend doing this for production, because this will give you a very heavy rig, because the way it drives these joints are nowhere near as efficient as how the DNA file drives the joints. It's just using math nodes, basically. But it is good enough for testing, so I'm going to hit reconnect, and OK. And again, this will take a little while. OK, so once that's done, you should get a little window saying it's done. Hit OK. And I'm just going to hit 1 in here, just because I know that it's very slow. And there we go. Ignore the teeth because they're not skinned right now. But there's our resulting deformation. And just to confirm, if I turn off the blend shape, that is our skinning. And that is the skinning from all the joints. It's not just our basic jaw skinning. And that's our corrective, correctly calculated. And just to make sure that it works with our combos. Yep. And yeah, as you can see, very slow. So not recommended to use this like this, but we now have blend shapes that we can put back into our DNA file.